Hello, my name is Chris, and in this video I would like to show you how I make time-lapse movies with my mobile phone. It's an old one, a Samsung S7. I think we're now at S10. It's 2020, and I'm just showing you that you don't need the newest one. You can also use an old one as long as it's a smartphone. We only need a few little accessories, and those are a small tripod to click your phone in, so you can keep it steady at all times. And if you put in an extension rod in the middle, you can put it on higher places, and I'll show you that in a few moments. So let's start. So before we start, let's first talk about what is a time-lapse. A time-lapse is actually a cross of a video and photography. You make photos from a certain point at a certain time, let's say every 2 seconds. And when you make enough of those photographs and you put them behind each other, it turns into a video where time goes really fast. A good example of this is moving clouds, as you can see in the examples I will be making today. Today I'm at a location only a few kilometers from my house. It's a factory where they take sand out of the lake and they use it for construction. And the good thing is they now turn this into like a walking path around the lake. You have really wide views, and there's a big machine plant, and there's a lot of birds and water over here. So now we know what a time-lapse is. The next question is, what makes a good time-lapse? Well, a good time-lapse is one where you can see a lot of movement, for example the clouds in the sky, and that you have a nice picture. There's something nice in frame, there's something in the foreground, but there's also something in the background, so you have a lot to look at. And then, for example, the clouds above it, they make the movement. So let's see what we can do with this phone. I know these days there's a lot of built-in apps where you can make time-lapse with. The problem with the one on this phone is that it's not really adjustable, so it just press and play and that's what you get. You cannot adjust the settings. So I installed an app that's called Timelapse Pro. I think I paid only a few euros for it. And the good thing is you can adjust the white balance, you can adjust the interval time, and you can adjust the amount of frames, which you can also put to affinity. So you can let it go for as long as you want. So yeah, let's have a look at the app. So this is the app I'm using. It's called Timelapse Pro. Yeah. Here you have the interval. There are some presets. I like 2 seconds because yeah, it works the best for me. You can see the clouds move really nice. If you put 10 seconds, the clouds go really fast. So 2 seconds is nice for clouds that move in a normal speed, if there is any normal. So yeah, put it on 2 seconds. The video duration I put on infinity, as I told before. Then I can let it go as long as I want. Normally I want 10 seconds, but infinity gives me some room, especially when you do sunset or something like that. For example, let's say you do 10 seconds and the sky turns red at 9 seconds and then it stops and you have to start all over again, which is pity. And if you put it at infinity, then you can let it go as long as you want. You also have to have the white balance locked, and the exposure also needs to be locked, and the autofocus mode should be off. It should be set to infinity or to macro, so it doesn't shift during recording. The white balance has to be set according to the scene. The reason I chose this composition, because in the foreground you have the tree, on the back side you have the yellow water plants, and you have the clouds to the left. thing that's not so nice about this composition is the weed that's under the tree, but I could remove it, but I intend to leave the plants as they are and look for a better composition if I think this is not good enough. But for this example, I think it's quite nice. So let's see the result. So while I was telling my story, the rain came down out of the sky, so I had to pack up because although my phone is water resistant, I didn't want it to get too wet. So the rain has stopped and I found a new spot. I'm looking at the sand machine, again with some nice clouds, some rain clouds above it, some water in the front, there's some grass coming out of the water, that's also in the front. And let's see how this example looks. Again, the composition is something in the foreground, something in the background, and the sky above where the clouds are coming over. So this is a great example of what I just told about keeping the time to infinity, because as you can see my camera is over there and the clouds are, there's a rain cloud passing by, and if it would stop at 10 seconds you won't see the end of the rain cloud, and that's what you want to see in the end result. So I'll keep it on a little longer, a few seconds in video time, so that's I think about 5 or 10 minutes longer, and let's see the result now. Okay, what I've done here is a bit of a trick. I use my tripod also because I want to get over the fence and I want to see the sand falling on the big hill from the machine, and there's the rusty pipes in the foreground. One of the main issues with time-lapse photography with your phone is of course the battery. I got a pack with me to recharge it. I think if you're going outside to make time-lapse videos with your mobile, you should always bring a battery pack, because otherwise after 4, maybe 5 time-lapses your battery will be flat, and well, nobody wants that on his phone, so keep that in mind. To wrap up this video, I'm going to show you some examples of time-lapse movies I made with my mobile phone. There's also a few time-lapses with some movement in it. This is made with the Osmo Mobile, and in my next video I will talk about the Osmo Mobile and your mobile phone making time-lapses. So hope to see you there. Thank you for watching. Bye bye.